Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into this week's episode, I want to welcome our brand new sponsor, Lean Supper Club. Lean Supper Club are market leaders of the ready-made lifestyle food brand, offering breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, treats with full lab-tested calories and macros. I swear to God, right? I had their crispy peppered chicken dinner last night. Less than a fiver. It was phenomenal. It was unbelievable. It was like tonguing Cameron Diaz, right? Like around the time of the Mask movie, not now because she's obviously geriatric, but it was unbelievable, right? They're a family-run business. They started 6 years ago. They provide restaurant-quality products all over Northern Ireland. To find them, check out your local Spar, your local Centra, Eurospar, Super Value, Cost Cutter, Vivo Extra. They're everywhere, right? They even have their own fridges in some places. Do you know why? Because no other food comes close. Lean Supper Club. Check them out. leansupperclub.com. Thanks a lot for the sponsor. Let's get into this week's show. I split up with my girlfriend recently. She's a clairvoyant. Turns out she'd been seeing my grandfather behind my back.
Ha 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 ho 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 ho.
Oh, fuck you.
I feel like she's seen me, do you?
Did you get it? No? Was it just
I
shite?
think it was too quick for me. You should have said to me, Glenn, I'm going to tell him a joke now, and then I would have been concentrating.
Do you want me to tell it again?
Yes, because I was mesmerised by your good looks. I'm like,
Oh, thank you.
know what I mean?
I split up with my girlfriend recently. She's a clairvoyant.
Yeah.
Turns out she'd been seeing my grandfather behind my back.
Ha 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 ha.
Even more patronising.
That your daddy dick was better. Don't let on.
Hello and welcome.
Just trying to channel your ancient roots to bring on an ancient right.
This is going to be a podcast full of innuendos. I can feel it already. There's one
Sean,
straight
definitely.
in. Yeah. Hello and welcome to the 1212 podcast with me, Sean Hegarty, and my guest this week is the brilliant Psychic Glenn, aka Glenn Gormley.
Glenn Gormley.
joking.
Do you know I could have been Glenn Gormley, Sean, because I had an
Could you?
access name was that name, and I could have very well been Glenn Gormley.
That would have been a class name.
No, it wouldn't have been. Who wants to be Glenn Gormley?
Suppose you'd rather be called Larn or something, wouldn't you? Where are you from, Glenn?
North Belfast.
North Belfast.
Born and bred.
Born and bred?
Born and bred.
Yeah. Do you like it there?
I'm only really there probably. I know I'm not going to be in the street that I'm in now. My grandparents lived there. It's where my daddy lived, sort of. But I know I'll probably end up in County Down.
What makes you think that?
I just
Obviously,
I really seem
you've got
gravitating
those.
towards County Down at the minute. I don't know why. And then I think of fuck a house beside the water.
Do you think you're going to meet somebody and that's where you're going to end up?
Well, I would like to meet somebody creative, to be honest, in that sort of setting. I think would be better rather than somebody that's going to hold me back. Do you know what I mean?
We were talking just before we pressed record here, and you were blowing my mind like immediately.
Yeah.
Tell me more. Repeat what you said, will you?
You're,
And then
right,
we'll get
you're
into it.
lovely, right? I'm being honest, you're lovely right now the way you present yourself, but see behind closed doors you can be quite grumpy and you worry a lot and you really, really have this thing about time now where I want to say to you, you're not. See where you're thinking, oh, I wish I could go back in time. No, your reality format is now of who you are right now. Those are all branches of who you were then. In fact, if you could really know the things you know now, you would be seriously rich when you were young. Understand that it wasn't allowed for you because you had to work hard to get to a certain. But I want to say you need to be more multidimensional. You definitely do. And in terms of business, Sean, you are not to get into business, all right? And I'll say it, Jonah, he's not to get into business. He's not to take on anything in a business way. He's not to get into any debt because his mind runs away, sees the finished result and doesn't do the maths.
Right. So
Telling you. And you need to really listen to her that way because she has like a sixth sense with things. She does. She'll never admit
does,
it.
yeah.
She really, really does. And she's like Mother Goose too. She doesn't let on, but she is. You know what I mean?
So do you think I should quit podcasting?
No, but I think you don't always need to be the funny guy.
Right, okay.
You can be the good looking one. Know what I mean?
Right. Like the Nick from Backstreet Boys?
Well, I don't know about that. Like,
Brian?
is something you want to tell me?
No. Do you know I used to cut Nick's the one with had the big blonde curtains?
The blonde
didn't
hair. Now, he had a wee brother, Aaron Carter.
That's right.
Now
went
everybody
downhill,
liked
didn't
Aaron
he?
Carter. Well, I don't know where he went downhill where he got gangbanged or what the fuck happened because apparently he's not gay. You know, one of them ones.
Is getting gangbanged not going downhill though? Is that the same thing, isn't it?
Well,
You hardly go uphill after a gangbang, like.
he wasn't meant to be gay, you see. He was like a pin-up boy, you know what I mean? He's not allowed to be gay. Yeah, I remember going to the caravan one time. My cousins, like the two girls, went down to the caravan and there was Aaron Carter on the wall, the poster, and he had like a NASA space helmet on.
Why?
I have no idea. But I think that single thing, see how Nick was like, yes, I can.
I used to cut out picture. I used to buy Smash Hits magazine, right?
Me too.
And I used to cut out Nick from Backstreet Boys' hair
Yeah.
and put it on photographs of me.
Yeah.
Like, do I need sectioned or am I all right?
No.
Is that a normal thing?
Completely normal.
Is it?
I mean, I had the girls pinned all over my walls, meaning like FHM and all. And clearly I'm the way I am, but FHM all over my walls, FHM and Ferraris. You think people would, Daddy would have known. Why was it a shock? Do you know what I mean? It doesn't take a fucking psychic to work it out.
But you are a psychic.
I am.
You are, yeah. Is
I
that the
am.
correct term?
Well,
Obviously, you call
I
yourself
believe
psychic,
everybody
but,
really is, and I'll tell you the way you'll understand it is. See, because I've been on my own, I've had to face certain things in order to get to different levels because I'm not accepted where I've been in life ever.
Right.
And in order to do that, I've had to have a knowledge of the self, and I feel like this is where everything it's relative, really. I read to other people because they can read me, in a weird way, like.
It's interesting. Yeah.
And you have to be able to relate in a way that, like, I can only read probably people the best who have the same sort of tones as me, kind of.
Right.
I've often wondered if I went to a different country, would I be able to read? And obviously, if I went to England and things and done it. But if I went, like, say, somewhere that were a different language and things, that's why I wanted to go to Russia and all, just to see, like, can I read you or what? You know what I mean?
So when you read someone, what do you mean by that?
Like, read their energy.
Right.
Like, everybody has energy.
Like their presence, like their...
Not everybody has presence.
Okay.
Everybody's animated. Obviously, they're a slave to matter, but they're not. Some of them aren't even here. Most people aren't. A lot of people aren't even here. Hello, this is why we're creating things for them to think about.
So when you walked into the room today,
Yeah.
what was the first thing you thought of? Was it like...
Calm and relaxed energy.
Okay.
Very different from your wife's podcast.
Really?
Very different.
just fucking
oh, she's a
manic.
fuck, she's banshee. But not only that, there too, should be very, very good. Should be very good playing a Wednesday Addams or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She's dressed up as Wednesday
I
Addams
told her if
loads
she
of
doesn't,
times.
I'm not coming back on here unless her hair's in plaits.
Right, okay.
So you make sure she's in plaits the next
I'll
time
make
I'm
sure,
on.
I'll make sure,
She had a hair clip in that last day.
Aye, I'll sort that out.
She's really good crack. You know, you ain't
She
used to her
is.
actually good crack together, you know?
Yeah, we...
And I'm not talking about some of the content you should put out.
we are good crack together. We actually say that when we're just sitting having drinks on our own because
Yeah.
we've no mates like Joe.
Yeah.
We just sit at
Well,
home
I would
and
imagine that really, like,
have
because
drinks together.
when you're doing what you do, there's not a lot of people that understand and do what you do. And I know by your whole energy, you are very hands-on as a parent. You are very hands-on in what you do. That way you get no fucking help from anybody.
Yeah,
And
very
I feel like that's you, really. That started off as your stubbornness, mate, but it's turned out to be a big, tall tree. It's lovely.
Right.
I think she must have pissed on it, made it grow.
She probably did.
She did. She loves it.
Pissed on a lot of things to do with me and made it grow.
But piss is bird tail. It's water, innit?
Yeah.
You think the rain
exactly.
doesn't come scorching sun, big scorching sun, my baby boy. No, I mean, she has to fucking make sure the thing grows.
Joe, me and Diona met 10 years ago today.
Did ya?
10 years ago today.
See?
Yeah.
You want to know the conversations we had? I can't say it on your podcast, but I swear to God, make your toes curl. I'll tell you after.
Really? Are there
actually.
stories about me making
Well,
her
I'll
toes
give you.
curl?
I'm going to say something to you. I'll not reflect on you, but I'd once read someone right now. This wee girl, she was only about 21, very beautiful young lady on a video call, and I'd read her, and you could see it's a certain maternal sort of essence with her. I knew absolutely she was going to be a mother no matter what in her life. But after reading, she'd said to me, Glenn, do you know I've been told I don't have any ovaries? And what's really, really interesting is she came back to me a year later and said to me, Glenn, I'm bleeding.
Fucking hell.
So there's something that can reverse certain things. There's something if you do it under the full fucking moon. Boo! And when I mentioned those three letters to her, right, I'm not going to say what they are. What I actually seen was a Pasco with a double. Meaning, like, I thought that would fail and it would be natural. Twins. She can't be careful. But that would happen just around the time she'd get the role. She'd really conflict. She'd be playing a role where she's killing her kids or something. She'd have to be serious. And you'd see a different side to her that's going to be magnificent. Truthfully.
Really? What do you mean by
Like,
magnificent?
she wants to break her shell, what she's known as now, really, and it's driving her crazy.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's her wee girl's pushing her. Because we're so laid back before her, I feel it, like really laid back, and now she's like, rawr. But honestly, I do feel like that sort of role has to come later on. If it came really early, she will have to sacrifice time, and that's going to be tough for her. Because I do feel she is like kind of that, this is my fucking family protection sort of mother goose. She doesn't leave. Like, what do you call them vicious birds? Vultures?
Yeah.
Vulture. You know what I mean?
She's a vulture?
You know the protector, like,
Because when you were on her podcast, you said that she resembled Hitler.
Hitler.
Yeah.
Aye.
Is that because of all the Jews she's killed? Or
Hitler is who she pretends to be.
Right.
She's actually very sweet.
Yeah.
on the other side of it.
She
And her
really
eyes tell everything. Her eyes really tell everything. You know what? Like, God help her, like, she's either a really good fucking actress or I'm a shit psychic, but she was a wee bit sad and mundane yesterday over a clothes horse. You must have been not giving her attention, watching stupid fucking, I don't know, wrestling or whatever it is.
UFC. Oh, she's been talking to you, has
She
she?
hasn't.
She
She
hasn't?
absolutely hasn't, no.
You just...
Well, Phil told me he's watched wrestling. So
Oh,
that's
right.
kind of.
See,
But I
I
just see the
don't watch
wrestling or a
wrestling, but it
PlayStation.
was-
She needs to get a fucking sledgehammer. You know what I mean? One
Yeah.
sharp. Boo!
It wasn't wrestling, it was MMA. I just want to put that out there.
But
Because
some days she might just need a Tootsie rub. Rub her feet, even if she doesn't like
Now,
to do it.
what do you call Tootsie? Her
Just
feet?
rubbing her feet, yeah, making her
Okay.
relax.
Okay.
Because that's root work. It's working with the roots. It stops
good to
going on
know.
like a banshee. You know, some days they go on a wee bit manic. It's like, ugh,
Oh,
all this stuff right going on, and you don't know whether you can do right for wrong. You're better off. You know it's going to explode no matter what. It can help that. Because sometimes a man doesn't actually have the
Thank you,
words
mate.
to understand a woman. And she can get
it's
really
true, it's true.
frustrated, like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I don't want to give too much away here, right? But I have an opportunity that has presented itself to me
Yep.
recently that is in line with what I do, but different and almost 9 to 5,
Yeah,
that you would say.
more stable.
What do you reckon? Should I go for it? Should I grab it with both hands? Should I?
I think if it's a change from what you're doing now slightly and you're more comfortable in that format, and dare I say it, you're being able to be more of you, yeah, 100%.
Sweet. That's good.
100%.
Happy days. Do you see me getting it? Can you? Is that a sense?
I
That you
think
can,
it's been created for you, to be fair.
that sounds good. Yeah. 'Cause
This is what I mean. Like, I feel like you've done all you can do in comedy. I mean, you could absolutely do whatever you wanted, but I mean, you've done that now. You must be bored doing same energy.
I am like there are some things that I would still like to do. I would like to do the bigger theaters. I would like to
Yeah.
tour and things like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
I think you'll play Peter Pan at one
do
point.
ya? You think I'll play Peter Pan?
Definitely. It just really hit me here, Peter
Just
Pan.
small man vibes, or what are you
No,
getting
just-
from me?
You said it out loud and it went Peter Pan in my ear. I don't know. You'll play Peter Pan, what do you say?
Right. I wonder when the next panto is.
Christmas time.
Very
Hey,
fucking
fuck,
true.
Sean, are you psychic? See, that is her. That's her divine blood going on you. It is. It's making you psychic now. She needs to stop doing that. We'll have to do a podcast of two years together. I have to get in the middle of his big egg.
That sounds like a different kind of podcast.
It'd
but
be a laugh.
yeah, it would. Yeah. Is that something you'd be up for?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because seeing a man and a woman, they do speak different languages. And I actually read a couple on Saturday, actually. And obviously, I'd read the girl first. And it was like, the way the energy was just a lot of stuff. Really intense stuff. But him, not so much, because it's not really intense with men. Like, I once had a man come to see me, right? Now, he thought he was possessed. He did have a couple of drinks coming up. But now, it was somebody that I knew had read him before. Thought he was possessed. And he pulled out a piece of paper. And honestly, I don't know what he did, but it looked like an airplane 1 minute. And he started folding and cutting. And the next bit, it spelt die and then a cross. And I was just like, right, this wee lad is actually possessed. Well, he let me look at his lucky penny, and then the next minute he couldn't find it. The next week, I get a message. Oh, Glenn, I've lost my lucky penny, but it must have been a good thing. I've just won money and I've bought a brand new car.
Fucking hell.
And he know he didn't send anything up for me.
None at all.
Just a fucking lucky penny. You know what I mean?
Did
But a
you
girl wouldn't get that. A girl would take a wee bit long. It's not sort of instantaneous, but I think with men, my God, it's really instantaneous. Like, it just happens right away. They'd be mind blown. Really mind blown. You've got to remember, girls bring life here. They're a wee bit more. Do you understand certain things more than what they can speak, kind of?
So when you say you went and like read a couple, like what do you mean by that? You walk into the room and immediately you sense things and feel things, or is it like tarot cards or what?
Well, I don't really need cards. I do like cards. Cards are good to have around, but I've never
do cards
necessarily.
make things clearer?
Well, to be honest, for everybody at home that has that wee deck of cards that somebody bought them one fucking Christmas as a gift box, and they're sitting there never looking for people that collect all these wee bits and never look at them. You know, the fool's journey of tarot can't really be taught. It's best to be lived.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I read cards before on my 20s before I really learned a lot of serious lessons, and it was very, very good. Very, very like. But honestly, when you learn serious lessons in life, it makes you more. Because you've got to remember, tarot cards are really a map.
Right.
They're based on the Gnostic tree of life. So they're actually a map.
It's fascinating.
And there's different layers as well. You have a man as well in Spirit. This is weird because I don't really know if I was actually comfortable doing this on a podcast, being the way that it is in a funny format. But you really have a strong male line. Like, honestly, see the men in your family, they're funny way. Like, and I feel like there has been tragedy. And like somebody, it was maybe around 40, something cut short, something happened. And being honest, he would have been really outgoing. He would have been the glue that held everything together. But see now, I feel like he is really like, he is the one that's making you the way you are. It's like, almost like you're an orphan, even though you've had this man there, it's fucking making you the way you are. And honestly, I feel like you would have felt an incredible, I don't know, old ways about you, old man and old slipper ways. You do.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. And just in your, like, you're not like, you can't even be annoyed with people, Sean. Let's be honest. You're very fucking wary of everybody.
Aye.
You are the protector, you're the wife. It's just who you are. And it's not just you. There's been a lot of men in your family that have been your archetype, being you. But you're the most evolved one. And I
Right.
think it started when you learned to say no to certain things in your life because you weren't meant to be bullied or put down. You're meant to be the man as much as you can possibly be. In a female world, your other men before you didn't get that chance. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's very interesting. It resonates very deep there, so it
Yeah.
does.
Hopefully it
it's-
heals something for you.
Yeah, no, thank you. That's mind blowing. But
He's saying he's better looking than you though, but I don't know if he is. I can't actually see his face. It's like
right,
just
and
a string of emotions.
this person's no longer with us.
No
Is he a
longer with
relative
us.
of mine?
He's there somewhere. Like, I don't know if you would have been very close to him or you would have knew him just like through maybe like say someone else. We would have been maybe influential with someone else. We'd always heard his name, but you always felt like you knew him. You always felt like they were his fucking trousers you were wearing. You always felt like, I don't know what way to explain it. You smell like him. It's weird.
Fuck. What's he smell like?
He smells very woody.
Woody.
Woody, like a woody sort of smell. He would have worked outside too. Like
That's what I like to do. That's how I like to work around wood, and
Yeah.
I'd almost like
Campfire
probably.
energy.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have been really allowed to. It would have been that way, but it would have been a lot of hard work. I wouldn't have
Right.
been able to be creative now. Certainly would have been a golden boy like the way you are. I mean, he would have been in a sense, but it would have been very tough. He would have had to do what his father's father wanted. It was like, it was always sewn a certain way. And the women largely just, they let the men get up to whatever they want to. It was different time. The knowledge, you're smarter than what your other men have been.
Right.
And because you drove yourself crazy wanting to know answers. But really, like, it was really denied with other people. It's denied with other men. It is. Knowledge is denied. Like, you don't get to know, just wake up and know things. Like,
Yeah. I don't even know where to go from that.
are you mind blown?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So, do people pay you to come into their house and?
Well, I would only really go to people's houses if they, if it's a group booking. Now, I go to places like Coleraine. I've actually been over to England and Yorkshire. That's how far I've been. This year I've been there twice to do readings. So, I mean, I would travel to places to do readings, like, but it's mostly people coming to me, mostly online. But I mean, it's crazy. You can't always get an appointment with me. All right, and I do see clients every day. Like, I'm not one of these people that just go on Facebook and put content out there. I mean, I do like to see people. I like the personal touch. I love it. The idea of never really interacting with people really frightens me. However, I do have a psychic team, and the more busier that I am, it's easier for people just to go on my website and like get a reading instantly, speak to one of my readers. It's easier really, and especially if people know me personally or have a connection with me. I mean, it's just easier. Sometimes it's not just about Glenn, it's about getting help. It's getting what you need in life, getting those answers, getting that mediumship. You know, sometimes it's needed.
Can you do the same for yourself as you do for others?
It's interesting because when I was younger, I was still being told the same things, although I didn't want to listen, and I would have went the other way. But now I know, and it's kind of like, I know if I repeated the same lessons purposely, I would lower my vibe. I would bring myself down. So yeah, kind of. But like not in a. Some things I would say I manifest now more than what. It's kind of like I don't know what the difference is with me when I'm whether it's psychic or manifest, and I don't really know the difference when it's myself. Do you know what I'm saying?
How did you even get into this? What was it? A feeling? Was it a?
I always felt like there was something being really hidden. And I always had an obsession with like wands and like magic and the never ending story as well. I could never concentrate. Do you ever watch TV or anything? Could never really concentrate. So like, because of ADHD obviously, but I just remember I always had this awareness of something else. And I did have a spirit in my room when I was really young, and I called him Ruben. And as I've gotten older, I've realised it's actually a connection with Rasputin. And that's one of the reasons why, like, I know how to read with blood and things, and I just know certain things about females. It's like I am a wee bit female on the inside, and something just, like, my bitch tells me what her bitch is. It's weird. Do you know what I mean? And it is a bitch, because it's a woman, it's a goddess energy, because there's something on the inside of them. But to answer your question, where did it come from? I think that it was always sort of stirred into me through life experiences. I mean, it was largely denied. I mean, really denied. I remember my daddy going ballistic. 13 years of age, fighting tarot cards in a book of shadows. I mean, Annie'd give me the cards, like, but he went mad. Oh, bringing devils and demons into the house. You know, I had to put them into a bag and leave them, like, out the back in the bomb shelter, somewhere else, not in the house. Like, I wasn't, but that just made my wee mind go, I'm going to do it.
It just motivated you even more to...
My daddy's very proud now, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I realised then it might have frightened him. But I mean, like, I used to try and talk about this stuff for years and people would have rolled their eyes and kind of denied it. Well, now people love to hear me talk about it, kind of.
I think you need your own TV show.
Do you think so? It would have to be the right format.
Yeah, it would.
It would, because
have to be on your
I could
terms.
make them a lot of... No, it wouldn't be on my terms. My terms are crap, because you've got to remember Glenn's a person, and Glenn sometimes can be a wee bit... Sometimes I can be a wee bit like Pazuzu. Honestly, I think really can be that way sometimes, and I don't mean to be. So when I'm around other people, I think sometimes collaborating and bringing things together, this is where there's going to be a superpower. But in terms of a TV show, I do think the media is definitely changing. Like, I've always known this. I've always known this was going to happen. I've always known I was going to sit here. And I'm really, really glad, because I didn't really like doing this podcast. Not in the sense I didn't enjoy it. I did. I've listened to it and I've laughed my head off so much. And everybody that knows now is listening to it because I've laughed so much. It's great, I think, for people to be able to have that crack with me and be able to rake me too, because there's people out there that go, fuck me, he is going on and on and on. And I think that dynamic is brilliant, as where you're a wee bit more...
A listener?
Yeah. Because I feel like you're genuinely, like, taken back, and it's like...
Yeah.
And what I say to you, like, it is within you. Like, it is in you too. So I'm answering things that... Because you've only got the female element around you, honestly, you get your energy from females. There is no daddy voice going, all right, mate, this is the way we do it. Do you understand? This is why we've got a lot of...
Yeah.
Shane Todd tones. But, do you know what I'm saying?
Even growing up, though, I never really hung out with the lads. I was never one of the lads. I always hung about with girls. And
Now, I will say to you, saying that, you need to stop being hard on your boys. Because I feel like you're going to end up having to get a bypass if you keep it up. You cannot control their lives. They are going to try and rebel from you. They're going to grow into big, tall trees. I'll be honest, they're all very clever. They're all very different. They're all more than what you are. And it's hard for you to understand, really, because don't get me wrong, you have to be firm with them, but try not to get really wound up about certain things, because I do feel like it's like, oh, we need to play, Daddy. I'm being honest, they want you for your bank account, mate, and they're like, well...
Yeah, of course they do.
They've no idea, like, when they're older, they might be a wee bit like you. One definitely will, even though it's not what he wants at all.
That's what we think as well. We think one of them's going to be in comedy or something. He's so funny.
Would you swear that she's... Do you want to spat him out, personality-wise?
Yeah.
It's weird how, like... I mean, it's nurture rather than nature, I think, in a lot of senses. But I'm being honest, that she does put a lot of influence into a lot of what you do. And I mean, it is the woman that'll think, all right, what way is the bed folded? What way? Do you know, it's a fair, like, those sort of things. Now, I remember thinking when I was really young, God, I can just stay in the cupboard forever. Oh my God. Because, like, you get to a certain age. For me, it was first year. Like, we were kind of start to be attracted to males. And I was terrified of this. And I always thought, right, I can hide it. Like, I can...
Because of where you live, or because of family, or what?
Well, just because no one else was. I remember seeing Rocky Horror Show because Mummy loved it, and I swear to God, I was horrified. I never ever wanted to be like that. And I really was a young boy when she used to watch it and go, oh my God, Glenn. And I was just... It's like they kind of teased me with it a wee bit in a subconscious way. I didn't know. Psychology, whatever you want to call it. But I swear I was traumatized. So I never wanted to be like that. And honestly, like, it was a big thing really then, but I think it would have been easier for me to probably have had a woman around in my life. I mean, I've struggled the hard way. And many ways not let people even help me, even female friends, just people in my life. That's why I wrote a book called Fighting Wendy, because I only let the energy in at a certain point in my life. I was always a wee bit magic, but from a let it in, like, it's a different ballgame.
So that's what I wanted to ask you as well, because I listened to Dion's podcast and I remember you saying about the book. Is it autobiographical? Is it...
I'm going to make it autobiographical. Say the word. Like,
autobiographical.
Yeah. Meaning, like, is it about my life? It is in a sense, but not so much. Just certain tones, certain lessons. I mean, I could go on about me all day, and there's honestly things that would be a brilliant book, would be a very long book. But I wanted to just teach one certain lesson, and that is I am not who I am right now without the influence of women. In fact, they are key, and me learning what is respect and me getting in leading. Because when you're a man, sometimes you really can't be the devil. You think you can know it all. It's women that have allowed me to be smarter. have allowed me to be who I am, really, because for a long time they suppressed it. It was like, you're not allowed.
So
When I was young, it was like, Glenn, keep your mouth shut.
that's how
And
I
I
was
had
too.
threats. I wasn't
Yeah.
allowed to say it, I swear to God.
Yeah.
And I knew, I did know things I shouldn't have knew. I did. You know what I
Because
mean?
when me and Diona sit down and we kind of dissect our upbringings and stuff,
Yeah.
they're completely different.
Yeah.
And you could probably tell that by how you meet us or how we
Yeah,
are
yeah.
or how outgoing or not
Yeah.
outgoing we are.
Yeah.
And I feel like that has played a big part in both of our lives.
Yeah.
But it's also good that we can, well, more me than her. Mine
Yeah.
was a bit more negative and hers was so
Yeah.
positive. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
But
it's...
hers was also like, but you've got to remember, she's a girl too. It's a different sort of,
Yeah.
she has a different sort of expectation there. You know, everything has to sit nice. She, you know, really, she doesn't like to show weakness at all. She will
Yeah,
never
yeah, yeah.
publicly show weakness, probably until she gets this role I'm telling you about.
Right.
Like, it's going to, if she does really, if what I see in my head's real, and it usually is, no matter how long it takes, you're going to be one day like, what you married her for and what you can see, I know you see it in her, like even the day she doesn't see it in herself. And that's really the way you two are. So you've got to keep pushing. You are meant to be where you are, like, definitely, like, as a couple, like, and I feel like on a professional level, like,
Do you say she's set to go to America? Is that what you said?
well, I
This
feel like
role
it'll be
take
in an
place?
American production company. It'll be a
Right.
story that's set in Ireland. It will be a type of thing. She's going to look at the script. They're going to look at the audition thing and going to go, no, they're not going to want me. They're not going to want me. But they're going to want her. It's going to be her. It can only be her. It's her fucking face. Her. It's only her. And it's a different something. It's something that she's never ever actually did. People are not really even going to really know it's her until they know it's her. If that makes sense.
Do you think she's
She's going to have to say goodbye to, you know, life transitions. But she's going to have to say goodbye to
Yeah.
where you are kind of now.
That's not... We're in Craigavon. Do you know what I mean? Who doesn't want to say
I don't
goodbye
mean
to
that. I mean,
Craigavon?
like, even social ways and, like, sort of, you might not be in the same circles again. You might, you know, it might be a whole different upgrade. The serious roles might come at her. She might have to really work hard for 5 years, but
Well, see,
just
that's
might
what
not
we
look
said.
back.
Yeah, we.
Do
Do
you know
you know
what I
what? I've been saying for years. I was like when I was trying to not force her, obviously, when I was trying to
Push her.
encourage her
Yeah.
and push her to get into comedy, I was
Yeah.
like, you're fucking brilliant. You're so
She's
hilarious.
brilliant. I am telling you, see her voice.
Yeah.
See her actual voice. I'm being serious. She should need to find a way of selling her voice
Hmm.
because her actual tones, I could listen to her all day. She goes, it's just the whole.
She's a
I'm gonna text
voiceover
him.
artist too.
Yeah,
she's
she's
a voiceover
brilliant.
artist. But yeah,
She
yeah,
is great.
yeah.
I'm
But
telling
I've said
you.
there for years, like she's always wanted to do these
Yeah.
serious roles, and I says they will come when you succeed in comedy and in stand up.
Yeah.
Then you will
Yeah.
be able to put your finger in every
Big
pie.
time. Big time. I really feel like it's one serious role. It'll be like Netflix or something like that. And it'll blow her out of the water. But she's going to really conflict because I feel like she's going to really love where she is as a mother and where she is as... It's going to be hard for her to go. She might feel guilty. You might have to take a back seat. You will. Shauna did say to her, you're going to... And you will. I know you will anyway. You'll gladly do that. Do you know?
I've took a backseat most of
Big
my life.
time. You know, but I
Yeah.
do feel like you will be centre stage again later on. Because, you know, see when her grandkids will come, she's not going to want to do this. She hasn't
Yeah,
yet. But you,
yeah.
mate, you definitely will as you get older, fucking right.
And
I don't
then-
think you'll age like a fine wine, son.
You think I will?
No, of course you will.
Sweet.
You already have.
That's good. It's good to know.
I mean, like, I worry about getting older too.
Oh, everybody does. You have
So
to.
I freak out about it, like.
Yeah, I'm 38 at the minute, like, so I'm
Yeah.
40 next December,
Yeah.
and that scares the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
actually.
I think your 20s are 2D, your 30s are 3D, your 40s are 4D. Do you know what? I'll be honest, I wouldn't want to be in my 20s again. At all.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Brutal.
Not in today's world.
Brutal.
Not
No,
not a chance.
No, even then, brutal. Brutal. Wasn't where I wanted to be. Lack of knowledge, lack of everything.
So would you say today you know who you are? You know the kind of person you are. You know yourself inside out.
I know
you are
what
who
I,
you
I
want
know
to
what
be.
I want to be because every day you've got to decide what you want to be. You've got to. I mean, every day you get up and you can be a drug addict. You can be whatever you want to be, whatever sort of influence. You can be influenced or you can be an influencer, and it's nothing to do with social media. It's nothing to do. I don't mean that sort of influencer. I like to be something that, whether I'm doing readings, even like I know how to make my friends laugh. I know how to. I always know what other people need. I think that's the mummy bit in me. I don't know. I always know what other people need. It's weird. Always. You're going to have foot problems, by the way. I don't know what it is. Break your toe. Aye. Something, or I don't know. Really
Just
gets your feet or
fucking
something,
out
have
of
you?
nowhere. Where
I
did you
don't
get
know.
that from?
I don't know. It's just something lower ends. You, I don't know.
Right. I thought you like maybe
Just
smelt
make
my
sure you're
feet or
always cutting
something.
your toenails or something. I don't know, because if it gets ingrown, I just don't. It's something stupid like that. But for you, it's like.
But then does that not go against
Right.
it? You know, does that not mean if I keep cutting my toenails, then what you say is not going to
think-
happen? And
Well,
then
you
that's
can change
almost
it
like
then, that's what I'm
Final
saying.
Destination. Oh, so I can change it.
Oh
this...
my God, you can edit, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
you really want to edit anyway. See, what you're saying about like difficult past and things, you've absolutely got to use your nice experiences now to go back in time and edit that. I mean, you do that anyway. Definitely, we all, well, us smart people do it.
Yeah, I'm definitely one of those.
Yeah. I mean, if you have a bad day, you go back and you edit it. Do you know what I mean? You meditate and you edit it.
You just pretend then, don't you?
Well, you just
To
go
a certain
back.
extent.
You know, you make it go the way you wanted it to go, kind of.
I feel like we could talk for days.
I think it would make a
Glenn?
great show. And do you know, I'm
Yeah.
actually going to put it out there too. I know that I feel like I don't really want to, in a sense, but I know that I have to, and even I feel like Spirits even tell me. I keep the medium stuff kind of hidden. I mean, it's something that's really like, see, when I'm alone with somebody in a room, like, it's mind blowing. I can't tell you what way it feels, but I think that it would make a really, really great podcast, and I think it needs to be called Glenn's Gift, and I think it needs to be more serious, and it will happen later on. But honestly, I know after that I'm going to get really stalked out, because you've got to remember, everywhere I go, it's like, Glenn, read me, read me, read me.
Yeah, yeah.
Everywhere.
That's why I was a wee bit
Everywhere.
skeptical about getting you on, because I didn't want to get you on because I appreciate so much in
Yeah,
what you
I
do.
love what you're talking about it. I love what you're talking about it.
But
yeah.
I I didn't want to bring you in and go, right, fucking read me for free.
Yeah,
Do you know,
yeah.
because
Well,
that's
I
not
don't
what I'm
mind.
about.
I mean,
I know, but
see,
that's
to be
not.
honest, if I wanted to make a lot of money, I would be doing the whole I'm a medium, because honest to God, you can really make a lot of money on death. And I'll be honest, while you've got to think about your bills and you've got to think about certain things, I know my time will come in a different way where I'm not really connected with death, and I'll tell you why, because I haven't had that grief yet. I'm very lucky. I have my granny still. I know one day that'll not be the case, and I know I will be more. Like, I can do it. I'm really fantastic at it. People know. People have came to see me at a guard at the weekend. Are completely blown away. Do you know what I'm being honest? See, then I've started to focus on maybe different things. I'm not doing it as much constantly. I always take a break in August anyway. See, at the end of summer, I'm like, break time, because I be working from like start of the year and like all year round. So I always take a break. But see, when I'm not focusing on it, it comes. It's like boom,
Yeah.
really like strong. I can't help
Yeah.
it. Spirit.
So if you go into like a house party or something,
Yeah.
do you walk into the room going, fuck's sake, I'm going to have to read all these decks? Or do you...
Usually there's one or two wee waifs and strays that aren't comfortable, and right away I'm like, oh, there's an olive branch, love, there's an olive branch, that's alchemy. Bring it all together. It's mostly about them, not me.
Is it exhausting though?
No, I love it.
Do you?
It is exhausting, but I love it. It's
You
exhausting
embrace
when
it?
it's the same energy. And I'm being honest, this is where I am with. I'm a really, really good medium, I am, but it's something that's behind closed doors. I'm very funny about it, because I do think grief, you can't take grief away. Grief is a very valuable jewel that you'll wear in your lifetime. And I feel like we can't avoid that. Do you know?
Do you feel like as humans we should be approaching grief differently?
Big time. You should be getting.
'Cause
You
I've
should be
always
actually
thought that.
planning the next bit. You should be knowing who's going to meet you, who's going to pick you up, where are you going. You should have an awareness of this.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you may end up just staying here.
I've always thought I'd love to like take advantage of euthanasia.
Yes.
You know, like see all these people, not now obviously, but I
Yeah.
mean when I get old, or hopefully I get old and I get to the point where I've been diagnosed with some serious illness.
Yeah.
I don't want my family to have to care for me. That's
Yeah.
the first thing I don't want in any shape or form.
Well, see, for a start, I don't feel like you'll have the choice, because the females in your life now are going to care for you no matter what. And that's
Yeah.
their rule, really. I feel like you'll be an old man, believe you me, and you'll still have it.
yeah.
I honestly, you make me feel better, because seeing you, I feel like, God, I don't care about getting older now. Know what I mean? If we're men, we can get old, we can be nice as we get older, but it's harder for girls, I think.
Oh,
God
I
love
know,
them.
I know.
Isn't
I
it like?
know. It really is. Like
I didn't feel like I was attractive when I was young at all. At all. I wasn't confident that way. But now I don't care. I'm at a point where I really don't care.
you're just happy with who you are.
Definitely. What were we talking about? Because I went away off the track again.
When
Euthanasia.
euthanasia, yeah.
I think everybody has a choice, Sean.
Yeah.
It should have. Well, I don't.
But that's what I mean. I would like to bring that in where everyone does have that
Yeah,
choice. Like you
yeah.
imagine, right? You imagine a family member rather than them, like
None of my
falling
family members
away
would suffer. My mum always
slowly.
told me this when she was really young. She's told me, and she's told her best friend, "Glenn, see if I'm ever incapacitated, you put a pillow over my face."
I know, but then you're done for murder, or at least
God,
manslaughter.
Well, I know my granddad said to me before when he was talking about his mother, Dan, that Glenn, when cancer and things comes along, things like that happen, you know, you pray to God. You pray to God for to take the illness away, and then say towards the end, you pray to God to take them. So I don't know. I wouldn't ever like to be in that situation, but I certainly wouldn't let any of my family members suffer. Damn, and I feel like that's going to be my role,
Yeah.
because I know what the other men are sort of like in my family. Just with, for example, the idea of my granny ever being sick, like I could cope with her like passing. I've read it because all my life I've been like she's going to die. But it's been like a mere. She uses it as a way to like keep them on their toes, kind of. As where really, if she ever really was ill or suffering, I would not be letting her suffer. As where they would maybe want her to stay forever. in the sense, is where I'm going to have that maturity about me.
Yeah.
Do you know? Because, I mean, it is maturity. There's a lot of people right now whose loved ones may be suffering, especially maybe even a female. Have that respect for, have that love for, have that wee bit of... Do you know? Because I tell you, see, older females, they have this way about them of never asking for help, never... And honestly, I feel like all you've got to do sometimes is tell them that it's okay. Tell them their loved ones are there. See if you even say it to them. Honestly, you do not know at the end of someone's life what a gift that is to give them. Honestly, you'll never really know. And a lot of you will know at home. You've been in that situation. Just know that was maybe the point where you allowed them to go to heaven. You know, you opened that door for them where previously it wasn't. It was closed. Do you know?
Sounds like you're talking about committing murders here.
No, I'm talking about if someone's really ill, and sometimes you've got to say it's okay, let go, because you've got to have will to be here, Sean. You do, and I think, you know, that's what it is. See, when your will's no longer here, you'll die. Your body will leave the vessel. But see, if you've really strong will, you'll hold on to keep people happy, to not want to leave them.
It's almost
no
like
matter how much you suffer.
When you hear of like grandparents who want to meet their new grandchild that's coming, and then they die a couple of days after the baby's born. So
Big time.
I do know what you mean.
I often
in that
feel
sense.
like that's them going right into that body, boom. New pair of legs, love. Women are sometimes clever. I said at the weekend, I actually read something, I says, love, right, you don't want to get pregnant at this time, because I'm being honest with you, certain person's fed up right now, meaning his mother was fed up right now, and I was like, she wants out of that body, she's not well. I says, she's going to try and get through you, she already knows. I says, you need to leave at time, because it doesn't have to be that way. I knew where her energy was. Oh, I'm not going to be here, I don't want to be... No, all that moaning, because they can see where there's a fertile soil. They can see where I fucking come through that key of life, come back. Women know, I'm telling you. Some of them know, and they'll deny it, but some of them know.
Jeez.
You've got to remember, they've got parts we don't, Sean.
I know, that's it.
And it's been going on for years, so they've had conversations. Oh, fuck, do you know what I mean? What do we not know about it? We never talk about it. Why do you have a Stargate, love?
It's true.
It's just never mentioned.
Are you a big believer in God?
Absolutely. Like, I have a... People always think just because you play with tarot cards that you're psychic or you do what you do, that you don't believe in God. The opposite. I'm telling you now, there's a God Almighty part. And it is like, I'll only really, really go there. It's like, I'll only really, really go there when I need to. And usually it's with things in myself if I can't cope. And when I go there, it's instantaneous. It's like, and that God Almighty energy is higher than anything. It's higher than anything we know. Or higher than anything we can put reference to. The only way I could describe it is, if the computer can't actually initially go on without the spark, it's the spark.
So, like a lot of people who also believe in God will, as you said, believe that you are almost like, not contradictory, because it's almost like anti-God what you do, what a lot of people will say, but that's obviously not the case.
Jesus is something to be lived, not something that can be learned. And when you hang on the cross for what you do and things in your life, you rise again. You know what I mean? Jesus had followers as well. My followers we got, Sean. See, fucking Jesus. You know what I mean? You've risen again, son. You know what I mean?
Risen again.
Risen again.
Can you sense anything else? Can you... like
one thing that was really red flagging me, and that's why I said financially, you really are sometimes like you're like a racehorse. You just want to go. Yeah. You need to be very mindful of people who are not your friend. All right, now I'm being serious. Other people wanting to be in business with you. You kind of need to think about, and you kind of need to listen to her, to be honest.
The Diona? Right.
She's going to say, I told you, so it doesn't need to be that way. You need to just listen to her energy. Because honestly, you do not need to get in debt to create money.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
No matter how lucrative something looks or appeals to be. And I'm being honest, I don't know why you're not using your brain cells more. I feel like you're in a princess role when really you should be in an emperor role in your own life. And not in your family life, but in sort of your professional life. Know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that comes from maybe an upbringing of just being told what to do and not being allowed to make my own decisions until a lot later in life.
Yeah.
So it probably comes from that.
Possibly.
It's fascinating. When you said as well about me not being too hard on my kids.
Yeah, your boys, I mean. You'll never be hard on your girl. My God, no, you'll never be hard on her. She'll be able to set fire to the place, sure. Be fine. Yeah. But the wee boys smoking, drinking, other thing, you're going to go mad. You're going to go ballistic.
Yeah.
I can feel it already. See, the second one of yours comes home and goes, I've got a wee girl pregnant, you're going to fucking hit the roof. And it's probably going to happen earlier than what you think. I have a wee feeling about that time.
Fuck, I thought it would have happened by now, so...
I think it'll be the very thing, it'll be the cream to the latte, whatever it is, it'll be the very thing that actually settles it. Because see, when they're running about wild, the very thing that needs a child settle down now.
But I don't want to be a grandparent at 39, 40, do you know what I mean?
They've got to be where you are. beginning. I've got, you know what I mean? Daddy, you were right. I'll not be that way. I'll be all right, mate. Come on, go to the bar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, I had
Probably.
a big what would you call it? Almost like a heart to heart with my middle son last
Yeah.
night.
Did you?
And he games a lot. Like a
Yes.
lot. And I was saying to him, I was like trying to put it into a different context, and I was like, imagine me and Diona sat down and played Monopoly
Yeah.
8 hours a day. You would be coming home going,
Don't take us the wrong way, Sean. You're very huggy feely. You need held, you need cuddled, you need told everything's right.
Yeah.
Right? You're a big baby. He's not like that. He is in his own wee way with something's wrong, but he's not like that. And I want to say it's strength. This is where you're underestimating him. I feel like it's boredom. Yous are all really like, oh, we're going to do, and he's like, do you know what I mean? He really is. He's probably going to be more masculine really than the rest of us.
so do you think I should just leave him to his own
Let him be. Oh
devices?
my
Just,
God, yeah.
Really?
Yes. He's at a certain age where he doesn't want to necessarily have to do what yous are all doing. He doesn't necessarily need to. It's a fucking dummy tip. I pull it out. What's she fucking doing to you? Do you know what I mean? She's he's playing that game too much.
Yeah. Do you know what it is? Do you know what it comes down to? He doesn't really have many friends.
Yes, but I feel
And
like a
he's
lot
not
of them
very
are
active.
online.
Yeah.
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 And I feel like he's kind of like an android. He has an android brain. Meaning, like, I'll be autistic when I feel like it. I'll do this when I feel like it, and it's mental.
Yeah.
He cannot express what way he feels, right? You've got to understand. He's complicated, mathematical, he's smart, but he can't get that out. It's impossible. There's no way.
Yeah.
In fact, you might even find some days that he has no emotions. He does, but they're in there for later on. He's quite simplistic, really. He's not complicated. It's where I feel like even another child, it's really complicated. Me right now.
Yeah.
Constantly. And I feel like your daughter actually has a soft spot for that one in particular. Like, oh, it's my big brother.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though he's her, like, you know what I mean? That's her trying to heal him. That's her making him heal. I don't know what way to explain it. Know what I mean?
So when you talk to people, or when people pay you to maybe come into their house or
Yeah.
online or whatever, do you go through like love and relationships
Usually
and
it's
family
just
and
what
health?
it really feel. Yeah, it's just, but I mean, it can be different. People need different things. All readings are different. They really are.
What do you
Definitely.
read? Do you read their eyes? Do you
I
read
think I
their
read
aura?
the frequency. I would definitely read someone's frequency because everyone has an energy. I feel like everyone's vibration is there somewhere in the universe. You have the ability to tune into that. Do you know, it's like, you should never really have an impression of somebody, right? Because usually impressions, it's like a spell. It's meant to be there. But if you go beyond that, there's something there that I'll tell you. You'll know, you'll get an awareness. But when they're in my company, it's different again.
So when you're
That's how I would do it online. It's frequency. I'll know by
That's
they'll
what I
send
was
me the
thinking.
photo.
So
and I'll
that's
know.
the difference between doing it online
So
and
if you're
doing
in
it.
front of me, I hear the tones of your voice, everything. I'll know. I'll just know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Fucking hell. It's almost like you're a metal detector or something. Do you know?
Kind
It's fascinating. Do you love what you do? I'm sure
I
you
love
do.
what I do whenever it's good.
Because you have a gift. Like
Whenever it's good, I
there's
love
no
what I do.
denying you have a gift.
I love what I do whenever it's good. Whenever it's like
When's it not good?
whenever I'm really, really emotional because of spirit, whenever there's demons, whenever bad things happen, whenever people are like not learning the lessons, that gets me. This is why I'll only see if I feel that you're not really learning lessons from me, I will stop seeing you. I will not give you a reading again. I'll just, if I feel like there's no real point, I'll just not do it. I only really like to be around people that can help at this point. And I feel like I'm kind of lucky that I'm at that point. I can choose that, like, to be honest. I'm not all about money either. Don't really
Yeah,
care about
yeah.
that. To be honest.
That's what I've always been like too.
Yeah.
Just money.
It actually
it's
makes me
bollocks, innit?
miserable. Like, I'm very
Yeah.
impulsive. There's nothing like I can buy that makes me happy, but I can create things that make me feel, whoa, I blew the tits of myself for. You know what I mean? Like, a producer contacted me and I swear he made me a sweet tune thing for my fucking podcast, and honestly, it makes me feel what the chaps.
Yeah.
I just love it. You know what I mean?
Is this
So,
your one with Dave, or is this a separate
this
one?
is with Phil. Actually, this is for myself. I've created a new podcast called Up the Glen because it's in the Glen. It's set in a tin hut not far from where I live. And I honestly just clicked my fingers and just thought I'm going to put this together just to see if I could edit and things, just to see if I could do it. It's perfect. So I'm going to run it for 6 weeks just while the weather changes, and I'll bring it back next year.
And who's
So,
Phil?
Polymath Beats.
Phil McCune.
Yeah.
No way.
I swear, he's powerful. Absolutely. See, the beat he made me, it gives me goosebumps. I actually uploaded it as a soundtrack. It's incredible.
Phil's a brilliant producer.
I am telling you now. See
Yeah.
if you like Psytrance.
Me, Phil, and Dave Elliott
Yeah.
used to be in a wee rap group
Yeah.
like 9 or 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And we called ourselves Poontown.
Poontown.
And we had 3 or 4 songs. We had Flickin' Beans. We had Suns Out, Tops Off.
So bad.
We had Shit in Peace.
You need to send me wee videos, yeah.
Well, I must do. I must try and hook them out. Like that was years ago, but so funny. Like it was a good time.
He's a very, very spiritual person too, like.
Fellas. Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, in his own way, like he's very spiritual. It was actually, we started conversation over Pazuzu, because we did the first episode of called the Pazuzu on the Loose, and that was when we started talking, really.
And what's Pazuzu?
Pazuzu's a demon of the wind. So say if she farts in your face, it wasn't her, it was Pazuzu. But do you ever seen The Exorcist?
Don't think so. Can't remember.
Pazuzu's the demon in The Exorcist. Well,
Right.
Hollywood tried to ruin him.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
So how did you and Phil meet?
Well, we just really talked online, and I'd sort of showed him, let him listen to songs that really give me chills, really give me goosebumps from other DJs, and he really just, I feel like for the first time in my life somebody listened, and he put it together. So next time we're going to do something with my voice and my arm and my tongue, something spiritual.
Class.
So see what happens.
So he's doing a podcast with you?
Tracks, like making music. Well, we're thinking about maybe doing something because he loves all horror things. We're going to maybe do something that way, but definitely in sound ways. He's going to create sounds from a podcast, definitely.
That's amazing. And will that create the background or whatever you're?
It's already on there. It's
saying?
my background noise. So it is.
That's amazing. He's a good lad.
He is.
Very
He's very
talented.
good.
Yeah, he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's next for you then? What do you see the future as for
Don't
yourself?
know. I don't like to create for myself. I
Right.
think it's really, really cocky to create for yourself. It
You
is
just like
definitely.
to
I could just say it, but I mean,
See what happens?
where's the joy in that? Yeah. But I have a funny feeling people are going to say a wee bit more of me soon. Don't think I've got a choice. Don't think I've got a choice.
Yeah.
No choice at all.
Just go with the flow and
Well, I'm here now. Meaning like I'm fucking incarnated here. There's no point going to want to go home now. I'm halfway there. You know what I mean? Might as well get on, mate. Get back home, collect my skulls. Maybe make the last drink.
do you do any mad stuff like that, like collecting weird
Skulls, yeah. And it
you
was
do
a kind of
collect
gift
skulls?
to me. Well, it wasn't something I went, oh, I love skulls. Definitely not. I went, yeah, don't even like them. That's very fucking tattoo of me. But no, my mummy used to always bring me back wee skulls. And I think in life you play like Super Mario as a game. Life's like that. You'll collect different wee things. For me, I collect skulls mean different things for me. It's like there's that version of you, Glenn. There's that childhood version of you, Glenn. You'll collect your own skulls. And I think one day you'll go back to the other place and then you will collect all your skulls from every lifetime.
They're not. It's not like it's your auntie's skull or not. Are these all like replica skulls,
Oh,
like fake
replicas.
ones? You don't
Where
have
would
like
you
a
get a real skull? My God.
graveyard.
Well, I don't say I wouldn't really want to be doing all that digging, you say. I'm not good at... But I dig when you're a psychic, you know.
Yeah.
So I've
it's
never really
true.
had to do any fucking digging.
You're already psychologically digging, aren't you?
Aye.
Have you ever? Obviously, you have been to a graveyard, I'm sure. But
Love it. I parked right beside the graveyard.
did you? And do you
And
get
that's a thing.
feelings and stuff near
Not,
them? Or
see, to be honest, there's nothing really much in graveyards. Graveyards are quite quiet. Now, there
Right.
will be people, there will be energies there, but it's quite still. And usually it's a place of reflection for people. It's not banging. It's not like a place of transit.
yeah. Right. Fuck.
They're quite peaceful, actually, graveyards.
You find them peaceful?
Very peaceful. I mean, we're all going to be there one day. It's quite peaceful. Like, they're not really there at all. Fuck, of course, you're not there.
They're all dead.
Well, just not there. You know what I mean? It's where the trail ended here on Earth. But the whole point of you having a tombstone is so it embodies and immortalizes the spirit forever. So what happens then when I die, Sean, if the trees eat my body, right, and you all eat me, and then I become the trees, I become the whole earth? What if when I die, I become the whole bigger part and I make everything happen?
Could very easily happen.
You know what I mean?
Very easily happen. Glenn, you're a fucking genius. You're a wizard.
Thank you so much.
Love to having you on, and please come on again sometime.
Anytime at all.
And we'll do an episode with me, you and Fiona.
Yes, it'd be
A
very, very
million
good.
%. We'll do
Because I
that
think
very
it would be
soon.
good for other couples at home.
Oh
Go
fuck.
fuck your wee bit. Like, do you know what I'm saying? Where like they could actually learn rather than like, because you can be really happy if you're in a marriage right now. You're in something. I mean, it's hard to communicate when you're energy A and energy B. It's very hard. This is why you've got a yin yang, and you don't do that without God or a source or something in the middle to kind of sometimes go translate, kind of navigate.
You're such an interesting guy, and this is something like I've never really.
Not anybody like me.
I've never met anyone like you, but I've never believed stuff until I've met you.
Yeah.
Like I'm always very open minded. Me and Diona went to like a haunted house one
Yeah,
time, and
yeah.
we went around with a Ghostbuster team,
Yeah.
and they had all their machines, and they were fully. Everyone was into it, and Diona felt the presence in different rooms and stuff.
Yeah.
I never felt anything, but I went in there going, "This is a load of bollocks," but.
Yeah.
please convince me that it's
Yeah,
real. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? And I went in fully with an open mind, and I've almost went through life like that, where I've never believed, but I've always wanted something
Yeah.
to come and go, right, show me that this is real.
Yeah.
You
Well,
have
what happened there was
fully
more
made me
Glenn's
think
gift,
it's real.
not so much mediumship, because I think mediumship is kind of like what you just described to me there. It diverts. So I'll try and help a person, but it's not. Spirit takes over, they hug energy. And really, they're maybe better for a while. I mean, they need it, don't get me wrong, but I really love to help people. And I think it's because I've struggled so much myself. That's why, like, I'll really feel for somebody I see really trying in life and not getting further on. I'll really appeal out to them, actually. I'll go out of my way to make things help them.
You're a people pleaser
Aye.
to a
big
certain
time.
extent. Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Here, legend. Please come back on very
Definitely,
soon.
anytime
And
at all.
anything you want to promote before we go?
PsychicGlen.com, check it out. Check out the Up a Glen podcast. It's available on Spotify, Apple. I really hope you enjoy it.
Is that UPA Glen, or how do you spell it?
UPPAGLEN. Because
Okay.
it's a place.
Up a Glen.
And it's set in a tin hut. So, Nature's an executive producer. It was like, Glen, just do it.
Class.
So,
Here, thanks for coming on, man.
You're
and
welcome.
I'll chat to you again soon. Thank
definitely.
you.
Thank
Cheers.
you.